Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day or night and that you'll enjoy the video, and thank you so much for watching.
You guys, I just got to the beach and my ex-boyfriend is here and I don't know what to do. I think he's right behind me. Such a loser.
So your ex is a flagpole? I knew you were all lying to me. Size do matter. But speaking of that, how exactly does that work? I mean in the bedroom. Ah, never mind. I really don't want to know.
Okay, any rich LA Afghans want to adopt me for a week? I'm not even joking. Listen, I've always wanted to know what it's like to be a rich Afghan. I feel like a lot of you follow me now. Let's be besties for like a week. You know, the first time I found out that like there were rich Afghans, I'm not gonna lie, my feelings were very hurt because it's like cool. So I grew up in like poverty, like I bought my shoes from Goodwill 2 sizes too big, and y'all have been flying private jets. It's crazy to me, and I just feel like, you know, as reparations and also as like a thank you for entertaining you for free, I would love. Now see, I took this in the wrong direction. Why don't you just adopt me, bro? Let's go. I'm not joking. Send this to your LA friends. Thank you.
Yeah, first of all, it's poverty. You grew up in poverty, not poverty. Second of all, you obviously never left the poverty. Otherwise, you would not advertise yourself on TikTok. Which brings me to the third of all, you really need to advertise yourself on a different site. Try some sugar baby sites, not TikTok. TikTok is a platform for weird dancing people and for those ones fighting the patriarchy or something.
Friendly reminder that they all come crawling back. They all come crawling back, right? It's your job, females, to tell them to off. No, away you go. Didn't answer the calls, didn't answer the text messages, and didn't give them the time of day because they're no worth it. They weren't worth it then, and they're no worth it now. So please, ladies, put your strong big girl pants on and tell them to off. Your skin's healthier, your hair's healthier, your mental health is healthier. And you didn't get UTIs every second week now, do we? No, move on. That's all, just a friendly reminder.
Ah, what a shame. I love me that Scottish accent, but I have to disagree with you, princess. Maybe this is a motivational speech, empowerment, all that, but you're kind of wrong. The part where I agree with you, let's start with that, is that if they do come back, send them back where they came from. But when you say they always come crawling back, that's the part I'm gonna disagree with you. I never went back to nothing. No matter who broke up with whom, I still never went back. And if you're out there and you just broke up with someone, stop living in the past, stop expecting them to come back and move on. It's the best thing you can do. When you're talking about men coming back, the F-boy, the Chads and Tyrons will come back for round 2. The good men, especially the ones you did dirty, they're not gonna come back. Am I wrong in thinking you should never go back to an ex? What do you guys think? Let me know.
I want to talk about this right person, wrong time phenomenon. Come to the conclusion that yes, everything has its timing. But at the end of the day, with guys, if they wanted to, they would. I also think that if they're the right person, there is no wrong time. The right person will do everything they can to make it work. I've seen men, when they really want a woman, travel halfway across the world just to see her, to put a ring on it, basically do whatever they need to do to get the job done, okay? So if you're feeling stuck and, you know, they're not committing to you and you're confused and you're kind of like, well, maybe right now this person is my right person, wrong time. Don't even waste your time. Just know that someone out there is willing to do like 100 times more than this person is willing to do for you right now. And that is the person that you want to be with. So please don't compromise and please don't settle for this idea. They are not your right person, wrong time. They're just simply not the person for you. Just let the universe do what it needs to do. If there's one thing I've learned about life is that everything falls into place eventually. Everything starts to make sense. All these questions that you have, they'll be answered one day. So just do you, have fun, and leave this person behind.
Right, if there's one thing you learned about life, that means absolutely nothing. You're way too young to talk about life experience. You look like you're in your 20s, so your life experience as an adult is what, 5, 6 years maybe? If they wanted to, they would, yeah, but they don't, and they won't, because you're not ready to reciprocate the same values that they offer. All your questions will be answered? Well, let me answer one right now. This is the reason why you're still single. None of you this day think outside the box. All of you follow the same ideology that has been pushed on you without realizing that you're part of a hive. Have fun and leave that person behind? Well, good luck, cause to be honest, that's all you have left. And you're gonna wake up in your 30s or your 40s, and having fun is still gonna be the only thing you have left. That and all the Chads and Tyrones having fun with you for a night.
Types of men to avoid.
From personal experience.
If you're talking to a guy from like a dating app or something, and you have not met up yet, but he's asking you things like, did you have lunch yet? Or how was work today? Or making plans like, oh, we should eventually take a trip out here, or whatever. Run. These guys are literally not okay in the head. You owe him nothing and he owes you nothing, yet they're acting like they're your friggin' boyfriend. This type of behavior never lasts. These types of guys never really last in your life. The burnout is real. If they act super intense, super clingy early on, red flag.
So if a guy is interested in you and he wants to get to know you better and he wants to ask you out and plan the date, that's a red flag. Okay, who's willing to bet money that in a year or two she's gonna have a where did all the good men go type of video? Off topic though, does anyone knows what type of car she's driving? It looks more like she's gonna hurt herself wearing those 2 seatbelts.
To all the men that come on my page and criticize me and tell me that I'm toxic and that I need help and that I need to stop, the least you can do for the greater good is pay for my therapy.
No, I'm not gonna do that. And no, that's not the definition of the greater good. And why do you need therapy anyway? Judging from that last video of yours, considering that was part 4, you know everything about men. You don't need therapy.
In Romania, if you go to a club and she's not with a man, she's single.
Romanian girl here. I'm here to tell you otherwise. I've seen this man so much on TikTok lately. He talks as if he knows how Romania is like. But I'm Romanian and I'm here to tell you that he's wrong. First, I'm married. I've also been to Electric Castle. I also go to clubs. My husband, he doesn't always come because I sometimes just want to go with girls. And I'm not there to see guys. And especially not this guy. Second, his misogynistic way of speaking just rubs me the wrong way. Women in Romania this. Women in Romania that. Women in Romania are like this. Oh no, women in Romania are actually like this. And they like men with money. And they won't talk to you unless you have money. Mate, you don't even have a hairline. I doubt that women look at you. And I highly doubt that nice women that actually know what they want look at you. So I don't know who you're talking about.
Oh, hey there. Well, Romanian men here, so let's talk from one Romanian to another. You see, whenever he talks about Romanian girls, he talks about 2 types. The easy ones, like you, who will jump on him just because he drives a nice car, even though we all know that his D is gonna taste the same no matter what car he's driving. And of course, this other type of Romanian girls.
If a Romanian girl wants to be she does it for money. And if she doesn't do it for money, and she's exceptionally hard to sleep with. A lot of these girls in Bucharest are 25, 26. They've got 2 men, 3 men body count. They understand that the number one commodity a female has is beauty. And if they're born with it, they're not going to waste it going out getting hammered and banging Joe whoever. They're not going to do that. They're not stupid like that.
So now the question is, how can a misogynistic prick like him talk about girls in such a nice way? Well, maybe because he's not a misogynistic prick. Maybe he talks about easy girls, garden tools, and 304s because that's the type of women he's dealing with, that's the type of women he's surrounded by, and he knows what they're like. And since we are talking about easy, back to you, princess. The fact that you're married means nothing, especially since you wanted so bad to tell us that you're married. The fact that you're hanging out in clubs every so often and without your husband is telling us what we need to know. Like I said from the beginning, me being a Romanian guy, I know all about Romanian clubs. Whenever there's Romanian girls leaving the men's bathrooms, it doesn't mean the girls' bathroom was was occupied, especially since right after they feel the need to have a chewing gum or a strong drink to wash the bad taste off their mouth. With you being married, I see two possible options. Either your husband is a simp and you're taking advantage of that, or whenever you're in a club going to men's bathroom because the girl's bathroom was occupied, he's at home getting his D wet. Whatever the case may be, more power to you both.
Why are women more intelligent intellectually and emotionally compared to men, and weaker physically, but men are stronger physically and, they're weaker in the brain area, let's say. Why are men not supposed to be women's slaves to do all the heavy work that we don't want to do? We should be making the decisions.
That laugh at the end tells me that you don't even believe what you're saying. Women are more intelligent. We'll debunk that myth in a second. But first, let me start with this. There are a lot of women that will be more intelligent than me. I know for sure that I'm more intelligent than you. Even my shoe is more intelligent than you. At least it has a purpose. Men doing all the heavy work, we're already doing that. And we've been doing that our entire history. And yet, at some point, we failed. For once, we failed when we gave you that phone that you're using and not wrote in the instructions that the camera is gonna be higher than your screen. If we did, you would know how to record yourself properly. But let's get back to what you said and talk about intellect. So, as always, we're gonna take a look at some studies. Although men have larger brains, men and women have equal IQs. There are no gender differences in actual IQ. Among adults, males have slightly higher verbal and reasoning abilities than females, and a more pronounced superiority on spatial abilities. If the three abilities are combined to form general intelligence, the mean for males is 4 IQ points higher than the mean for females. Ooh, would you look at that? Among children up to the age of around 14, the differences are smaller because girls mature earlier than boys. What I love most about this is not that all the studies are contradicting you, but I loved going through your comments. And this is the first one. Our brains literally, well, no point reading after that.
Here's the thing about men making comments about women only wanting them for money. So a lot of y'all watched that video and decided to use absolutely no critical thinking skills, so I'm just going to do it for you. What I was saying is that because of the patriarchy and centuries worth of systemic oppression, women were forced to rely on men for any sort of financial well-being. Like, women had to find men that had money to take care of them because they were not given the opportunities to help themselves. And now, centuries later, where yes, women can get jobs, women can take care of themselves, and many women do, there was still a tradition of women looking for men to take care of them because of those systems of oppression that have been in place for centuries that forced them into that. Like, you don't just overcome oppression magically overnight. Y'all understand that, right? Y'all understand that those types of things have long-term consequences?
Well, thank God we have you now to teach us about critical thinking. You're telling us about many years ago, centuries ago, and yet you have no idea about history. Centuries ago, there was no air conditioning. Many women back then needed a man because they were not fit to work in a coal mine alongside men. It's got nothing to do with patriarchy. But like I said, thank God we have you now to tell people what to do and what not to do. Those women that are still looking for traditional roles, the ones that want to get married, have a husband, have a family, they're not doing it because patriarchy. They're doing it because that's what they want. And even centuries ago, people were still falling in love. People still started family because they wanted to be with one another. It was not only the rich men that had wives. And me, I understand long-term consequences. And one of those is that many women like you will be single, lonely, and miserable for the rest of their lives.
You think about it, this is the exact reason why men don't want to date anymore. Like, this is also this
Good. If a man doesn't understand that the patriarchy is extremely dangerous to women's lives and affects them on the daily and can't respect that and can't understand where they're coming from, they don't deserve to date. I think it's great that these men are finally realizing they're not desirable anymore. Maybe it'll make them take a long, hard look at themselves and realize they are in fact the problem. Now, I could sit here and disprove pretty much everything she said. Women just see men as wallets. Yeah, they gave themselves a provider role, blame other men. Women have a superiority complex. They don't respect men. That's literally just untrue. Statistics and data shows that men's superiority complex and male ego has led to women being assaulted literally every day. But I just think it's funny how this is on a men's mental health playlist. A lot of men's mental health issues stems from the patriarchy and other men, but still they choose to blame women. That's how I know you're not posting this about men's mental health. You're posting it to hate on women. Be better.
Every single way. She's talking about mental health issues, you're talking about patriarchy. We gave ourselves the role of provider, it's got nothing to do with patriarchy. It has everything to do with survival of our species. Since the beginning of time, men understood gender roles. We knew that if our population will go down to just men and only one woman, our species will end. In return, if our population will go down to just women and only one man, our species will survive. That's where the protect and provide role started. We needed to protect and provide our women. And it's funny that back in those days, none of you complained about patriarchy. Not until we started putting ACs in the offices. And then you started complaining that the AC is misogynistic. I know this may come as a surprise to you, but men are still providers. They're still men that provide for their families. We are women, hear us roar. Well, what we all can see on the screen is unmarried women and poverty. Single women are having a harder time making ends meet than married women in America. So how is having a man providing for you looking now? More than 1 in 5 unmarried women, 22.7% live in poverty. Single women are more than 3 times as likely than married women, 6.3%, or married men, 6.3%, to live in poverty. We are women, hear us roar. Well, all I hear is moan and complain.
Where is my tall, skinny, liberal, emo?
He's probably around this corner hanging off the top of the ceiling.
Yeah, he was probably the last out of the two that we had in the world. You know, you would have better chances of finding that 6 feet tall, 6-figure, 6-packs man. At least we have some of those that are real. But anyway, this is gonna be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, I do hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe and I will see you in the next one.